Man, this laughing gas is no joke. Last time I was smoking with Walter, I thought I peed myself. False alarm. It was actually Walter. Hey, are we recording?
The information presented in this podcast is not intended to provide medical or legal advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Before using cannabis or making any changes to your treatment, consult a qualified healthcare provider. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of OLAS Media or its sponsors.
OLAS Media. March and Ash presents Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford. From the hottest up-and-coming comedians to legends of the game, enrolled with some of the world's finest cannabis brands. This is Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford.
What's going on? It's your hostess with the mostest. It's your boy Walter Ford, and this is the Hilariously Blunt podcast sponsored by March and Ash. I know we had a great time last week with Big Steve and Grizzly Pete talking about that Big Steve pre-roll, but this episode is finna get even crazier. We got one of the firest strands sponsored by a comedian, Laughing Gas, and then some of the most solventless, firest concentrate this side of Albuquerque you can find from Collier. And I got somebody here that can teach you every fact, percentage information about all of that. This week I have as a guest the one and only comedian and cannabis connoisseur, Randy Villarba.
Hey, Walter. How's it going?
What's up, Randy? Bro, I'm living a dream, man. I couldn't call it if I had a quarter, G. I'll be honest.
No, thanks for having me on the podcast. But this side of Albuquerque, you meant available at March and Ash, right?
That's exactly what I meant. This side of Albuquerque means come to March and Ash. Preferably anyone near you.
No, I'm stoked. I'm bringing two of my go-to smokes for sure. Laughing Gas, my favorite strain, Sashimi, which is a nice Skittles gelato cross. And then one of my favorite flavors from Collier for some solventless rosin for all you dab heads out there. Got the Pog Juice, which is a nice passion fruit, orange, guava, terpy rosin.
Terpy. Make sure y'all gonna want to stay tuned for this episode.
Yeah, comedy, cannabis.
Everything you wanted and then some. Stay tuned. This is Walter Ford with the Hilariously Blunt podcast sponsored by March and Ash. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rocky from March and Ash. Have you heard about the new ABX sauce cartridge? They're carefully curated top-shelf extracts that showcase unique flavors and effects of each plant. And get this, their live resin sauce cartridges focus more on cannabis terpenes and THC levels. Papaya Bomb is a must-try, with heavy fruity aromas and tropical fruit, citrus, and gassy flavors. Consumers have reported euphoric, uplifting, happy effects followed by a calming sensation. Head to marchandash.com to learn more or ask any concierge at any March and Ash. Catch you later.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Walter Ford with the Hilariously Blunt podcast sponsored by March and Ash, and we're back with Randy Villarba.
How's it going, podcast world?
Yes. How you feeling today, bro? Talk to me. You feeling all right?
Feeling very high. What can I say? I may have partook in the products that I am bringing to the table here.
I ain't mad at that. You and me both. Like I said, I'm a little zooted and booted myself. So
no, I'm stoked. Well, I mean, first things first. Let's start with the flower. I brought.
Yeah. Tell me about it, bro. What is this? Who is this? Who made it? Why? Who? And when? And where?
Well, it's Uncle Joey. Our Uncle Joey Diaz.
Shout out Joey Diaz.
Yeah, he launched his brand Laughing Gas and has actually brought some of the best flower out. It's actually powered by Zeki. They're the cultivators in Los Angeles. I believe their shop up in NoHo's ice cream shop. But yeah, first launched out of there. Now you can find it all over California. We got it at March and Ash. Sashimi, hands down, one of my favorite strains from these guys.
Every March and Ash location, by the way, you got to add that in there.
Yeah, but
where it's not sold out. Excuse me.
Yeah, but it's a Skittles Moki cross. Honestly, one of the terpiest flavors. The dominant terpenes in it are limonene, myrcene, caryophyllene, and linalool. Anytime I see linalool, myrcene, and limonene in the top three terps, that's honestly my go-to.
That automatically mean you going over the top and then some.
Yeah, and the croffeling in this, is actually taking a backseat, so it's not even that spicy, not really that earthy. So you're getting more of the citrus and floral terps.
And that's in the first two you said? I don't want to mispronounce it. The crocodile.
You're getting more of the floral terps out of the linalool.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's
the
what I said.
earthiness and spiciness would be out of the croffeline. But yeah, the myrcene's typically what people are chasing when you're looking for that couch lock or that sedating feeling or that sleepy feeling.
I like that word, couch locker. That's that. Like I said, that reminded me of that lady from the commercial when you fucking don't do drugs when she was like melted in the couch.
Yeah,
and nobody smokes and does that. By the way, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the strain that does that, and I've been smoking a long time. When it's like 99.99%, that's when we gonna be doing that shit. Oh, they did do that with THCA crystals, but then we realized we also need terps.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. Speaking of which, just going to terps, I did bring in Kalia's Pog Juice rosin, one of my favorite rosins from Kalia. Mark Hammond up in NorCal has been doing a good job sourcing legacy farms.
Shout out to Mark.
Right farms in order to produce some of the tastiest solventless rosin on the market. Pog is passion orange guava. Passion fruit orange guava.
That sounds like a hippie's daughter. What you call it? Passion fruit orange guava.
Tasty.
That's a good combo though. That sounds like a fruity ass combo right there.
Yeah, but enjoyed it at low temps. I did bring in my Puffco Proxy here, and enjoyed it at a low temp. Honestly, some of the tastiest and effective rosin out there.
I was going to ask you, so you got the Proxy, and then what is that also that you brought as well with it?
Yeah, this would be the hot knife.
Hot knife.
Yeah, I got all the tools. I need a Batman belt for all my stoner tools. But yeah, the hot knife basically, it's all chargeable. You press the button. It heats the ceramic blade at the end and allows the concentrate to melt directly into your banger or Puffco. So you don't need to worry about the sticky mess getting everywhere.
Oh, so it's just like okay. So that's an add-on to that. I'm thinking you smoking out of that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, all of these available at Margin Ash.
And Margin Ash. So,
Ding.
Back to the laughing gas. It's a couple different strands, right? Is that the right word?
Yeah, it would be strain or cultivar. The different cultivars by the Laughing Gas brand. Of course, the Shimi. And then Cocoa, which was actually the first one that was released.
That makes sense.
They do have Tremendous, White Truffle, Rainbow Runts, and then they just released the Dogface was the most recent cultivar that Laughing Gas released.
Exactly. And I think you told me earlier we can find that one at Sabre Springs, Marching Ash.
Up at Sabre Springs. Yeah, they got all the new got all the new flower up at Sabre Springs. So I've already taken like a few trips up there to check it out.
Pick out a little bit, and then we get to it.
The store's awesome. It's beautiful. It's like right there on the doorstep to like Poway, Rancho Bernardo.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see some of the old Mission Valley heads that are now up there. But give a visit up there. I'm excited to be in the neighborhood up there.
Come on now, beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but but I'm fortunate being a content coordinator and writer for March and Ash. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have the job where I'm writing, learning about all these different flower cultivation concentrates. I'm stoked because it also gives me the behind the scenes to see this COA or the certificates of analysis, basically the lab results. And that's what allows me to get a little bit more geeky. Like for instance, this Laughing Gas right now has a really good terpene profile, as I mentioned. I mean, you got 4.96 milligrams of limonene, 4.2 milligrams of myrcene, and 3.2 milligrams of linalool in it. And that's what gives it the good flavor.
That sound now I don't know what none of that means exactly, but it sounds good.
It means you'll have a good flavor on the tip of your tongue as you're feeling great.
I love that, bro. I love that. And just to make sure, if you didn't know, everybody, you can get this at March and Ash or marchandash.com. And you write about all of this too, right? Since you said you write the blogs.
Yeah.
Where can we find that?
I do a lot of the writing, product descriptions, blogs. You can actually find the blogs I've been writing for March and Ash at marchandash.com/blog. And then all the different strain descriptions. I'm stoked. I like being behind the scenes to be able to see, like I said, the different lab results of what's here. Check out, the fire amongst the fire. Being a connoisseur is kind of what I gun for. I'm a terp hunter. What can I say?
Do you ever experience occasional sleepless nights or sometimes have a difficult time falling asleep? My name is Kayla, and I'd love to recommend one of March and Ash's most popular gummies, Camino Midnight Blueberry. It has 5 milligrams of THC and 1 milligram of CBN to help promote a restful night, and you just take one before going to bed. Take it from me, I microdose with cannabis almost every night, and this formula is very relaxing for me. The secret is lavender and chamomile extracts, plus that 1 milligram of CBN. Even though it is a small amount of CBN, that's all it takes to experience the potential therapeutic benefits of this edible. To learn more about Camino Midnight Blueberry, speak with one of your March and Ash concierges or visit us online at marchandash.com. Until then, sweet dreams.
Tell me, Randy, big dog, I can find all of this at March and Ash, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I actually had to hunt down the sashimi. I drove up to North County to the new Saber Springs store.
Hey.
One of my favorites, so I definitely look out for it.
Hell yeah. Marchandash.com, by the way. And even I get delivery ordered, and I work here because I'll be too lazy to get out to bed sometimes.
Yeah, but last time I saw it, the Pog Juice was available at all locations. So definitely grab it before I do. I think this is like my 4th gram I'm picking up already.
That's always how I go, bro. That's always how I go. So speaking of that, you said you got into cannabis at 2009, around then?
Yeah, 2009, I was living up in Mammoth as a ski bum, but obviously I hadn't put the bong down since high school.
What is a ski bum, if I may ask, just for the people that I don't know.
Worked in a hotel so I could snowboard for a living, basically.
Really? That's a thing. Because I was going to say, I heard a beach bum, but I ain't know a ski. Yeah. So you worked at the telly.
Yeah, so I worked up in Mammoth Lakes and smoking a lot of cannabis, as you do, and in the quote unquote, traditional market. And,
I think traditional market means it's around a whole bunch of white people.
15 days. The Prop 2 15 days, we had so much more freedom, but that's beside the point. I was going back and forth to the Bay Area a lot, or coming down to San Diego or LA, and just popping into the different dispensaries. I couldn't help but notice that there's a few magazines, a few publications out there, like Nug Magazine, Culture Magazine. I went to school to be a writer, so I hit them up and tasked to, hey, do you need people covering products and dispensaries? Ended up being a feature writer for both of those magazines.
That's fire. Real quick, we can't just zoom past that. So you seen the magazine, and then you hit the magazine up like, y'all need somebody to work? Yeah. See, that's some real California shit, bro. Because like it anywhere in the world, not even in the world, excuse me. When you come from places like such as Indiana, like where I'm from, where people aren't, California is the only place I ever met a dude that sold seashells down by the seashore. Like you can literally do anything, sell anything if you aspire to do it. Like in Indiana or just other places that don't have that same commerce or inspirational type of background, I could never even imagine fathom that. Like it's a weed magazine and I'm gonna hit them up. Yeah. So that just is a testament though, bro, that you got that umph in you to just go put that first foot forward, bro. That's really fire.
Well, honestly, I was just trying to figure out how I could get this weed for free and have someone else pay for it.
Hey, sometimes that's the best shit.
So working with Bo and Becca at Nug Magazine, it was awesome. I'd bring up a dispensary or like the Vapor Room. I really wanted to check out, which was like one of the best medical dispensaries at the time in San Francisco. Hard to hate Ashbury. There were like clean glass bongs and volcano vaporizers. I'm like, yeah, I want to do a review on that. Came across Chocolate, that strain the first time. It was great. I'd hit them up and they'd send me.
That's dope. And they paid for it? Not paid for it, but they like covered everything and like traveled and got you there? Well, to an extent. I mean, we ain't gonna put them all out there like that, but they paid you. It was your job.
I made some good money during the Prop 2 15 years because I was writing articles about that, travel articles to Amsterdam.
Damn, they took you to Amsterdam?
I took myself to Amsterdam and wrote about it.
And then wrote about it.
And I got paid for it.
See, but that's the thing, though. You took that initiative, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That is an initiative.
When cannabis turned legal out in Nevada in 2016, it had been recreational, I believe, medical since 2015.
Yeah. The next year.
And then when it turned recreational into 2017, I had a few contacts out there that had been trying to fish me out there for a couple of years, and I decided that was the time to jump in full time. And like rewind back to then, that was like the Jeff Sessions years. Everyone's talking about how they're going to arrest you for cannabis, but that was when I finally came out to my parents and told them, never stopped smoking cannabis. It's been my medication. I have a personal story with cannabis.
Damn, that's a whole thing right there.
And then I moved out to Nevada with my parents telling me that Jeff Sessions was going to raid the place and I was going to get thrown in jail.
Jeff Sessions. Oh, you talk about the Department of Justice for Trump?
Yeah.
So anybody don't know, that was the head of the Department of Justice for Trump.
If you remember back then when Trump first became president, people were like, oh, what's the stance going to be on cannabis? Honestly, there were plenty of people who could have hopped in on cannabis back then, but it wasn't like now. Now it's obvious.
Yeah, but they made it they was like, it's a states' right thing, and now we here now.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
So when I was out in Nevada, helped Silver Sage Wellness, which launched Remedy Cannabis and Terpex extracts out there, which was really cool. They introduced me to terpenes. You talk about me being a terpene geek teaching you. It was the kids out in Nevada and Las Vegas. I remember my first day at work, they're like, have a Terpy Thursday. And I'm like, what'd you call me?
They talk about your mama. What? Huh?
But
what?
Then
Terpy?
I was working with Eric and Josh at the Extracts Academy, which we were running out of our lab, where we were literally training the next generation of extractors throughout the U.S. Started learning the importance of terpenes over THC. And as I took that to the state, the cannabis I was selling with Remedy, the concentrates, Terpex, and then eventually started working with Bohemian Brothers. For me, I just focused on cannabis brands that were bringing high terpene flower, the shit that I would smoke, because there's a difference between your mids or something high terpene like a Laughing Gas or a Blam or Cannabiotics or
it's a difference.
Northern Emeralds, yeah.
Because back at the crib, we was definitely, what did you say, low terpenes? That's what we was smoking, headache. I just called it headache weed.
Yeah.
He was smoking Booger Wolf.
Growing up here in San Diego, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be really close to the grower.
Yeah, bro.
I still know.
Forget San Diego, just California in general. Even if you were in Arizona or Nevada, like, it's still next door. You know what I'm saying?
But as soon as I started learning about terpene profiles, it kind of took my connoisseur level to an even.
You became an expert.
An even higher level. Once you understand your own endocannabinoid system and how these terpenes speak to you, it's truly a choose your own adventure when it comes to cannabis.
And I love how you explain it as far as like the endocannabinoid system. Like a lot of people, especially back in the day, it got that stigma, like fucking, no, you fucking, dude, remember the commercial where used to the girl be flat in the fucking couch? Shit.
Dude, I think don't do drugs. I think it was said best when I was did Kill Tony when they came out to Vegas. Jeremiah Watkins said, "Wow, Randy, you just made weed boring." And I know I'm notorious for it, but to be honest, it's not just about getting high. It's not just about getting faded. I mean,
it's healing too. It's healing.
Don't get me wrong.
We do want to get faded, but it's also
every
healing.
now and then. But
it's also,
my own personal
balance.
story, like within my family and friends, I know plenty of people who have helped heal their life.
Yeah, bro.
Cannabis.
Yeah, and it, like cancer and shit. Yeah, come on now. So real quick, we're not gonna speed past you doing Kill Tony. So people that don't know, Kill Tony it's been going on for what, 10 years now? 8 years? 10 years?
Yeah, but not 18. We're not that
8 or 10, my bad. 8 or 10 years?
No,
it's been a minute now.
I've been on it twice.
Well, real quick, for the people that don't know who it is a would you call it a comedy show? Open mic?
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast where it's an open mic-ish type style. Comedians go on there, and it's a panel. Usually the panel has like a celebrity comedian on there. And you only get 1 minute to do stand-up. Yeah. Which is fucking damn near impossible. But that's the goal, though.
Yeah.
It's like,
so my friend,
and then they roast the shit out you.
So my friends, Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband, they started Kill Tony in the belly room of the Comedy Store. And when I started doing stand-up, 10 years ago, I was always driving up to L.A., similar to you. Just young and fucking,
hungry.
Always
got some energy.
And getting up there.
Yeah.
So when they started Kill Tony, I was always charging up to the belly room back when they had the Iron Patriot, back when Josh Martin was helping them produce it. And
that's throwback. That's before my time. So, I know who Josh Martin is, but I don't know.
They came down to San Diego to do the La Jolla Comedy Store the first time.
I went to. They came out here and did it a couple times, right? Because I went to one time and Noah did it, and they roasted the shit out of that nigga.
Yeah. So this would have been.
He was my roommate, by the way.
So this had to be 2014 when they first did it here. So I was on Kill Tony at that time. I believe it was Jeremiah Watkins, Willie Hunter.
Shout out to Jeremiah, man. I just seen him not too long ago. That's that dude.
Sarah Weinshank, and Kimberly Congdon, Billy Bennell. They were on the panel.
That's crazy. All of those people are really making moves right now too. So shout out to all of them.
Yeah, Jeremiah is going to be headlining, I believe, Laugh Factory out in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
in a
come
couple
on now.
weeks.
I just seen Kim. I don't know her personally, but Kim. How did you pronounce her name?
Kimberly Congdon.
Congdon. Yeah. I just seen her at Mic Drop, man. She was fire.
Yeah,
Beast mode.
Yeah, so
When was your first time doing stand up? Because we talking about Kill Tony. What was the first
2013.
time? Okay, so right before that.
Yeah.
Now you was fresh legs on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was gunning your ass.
Yeah, it was only a few months in, but did well. And honestly,
You lying, Randy? Did you do well?
yes, Walter, I'm lying.
It's hard to do. I'm saying.
lying. I did horrible. I never wanted to do comedy again. And 10 years later, here I am begrudgingly doing comedy.
I ain't saying it like that. I mean, it's a minute, bro. Like everybody bombed. That's the point, though. It's like, But no, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was green, went up.
Yeah,
did
yeah,
jokes.
of course.
The interview process was literally where I shine. Honestly, it's got to know those guys.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what it's
both
for.
Tony and Brian got to be really good friends of mine over the last 10 years.
That's fire.
When I was living out in Las Vegas, they were doing Killed Tony in Las Vegas. I remember I was hanging out at the Dirty at 12:30, bumped into Brian. He's like, "Hey, you going to be at the Killed Tony show?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, but are you showing up?" Just kind of like, tongue in cheek. It was the first name pulled out of the random bucket. And then, it was really cool doing Kill Tony again out there, almost at that point, what would have been like six years later. It was a lot of fun. I mean, there's been a lot of growth with those comics.
So you've been doing comedy for how long now? I guess you could say.
Coming up on 10 years.
10 years, baby. Ooh. What would you say performing comedy and being a comedian has taught you the most that transfers into regular life, would you say, in those 10 years? Because I'm 7 years in, and I feel like it's a few things like...
Patience.
Yeah.
I'd say patience. Not a marathon. I mean, it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's what Joey Diaz always told me when I was early. Can't get ahead of yourself. Can't look at someone else and go, I need that. Just fucking focus on your own pace.
Yeah.
Because if you start focusing outside your own pace, and you miss the point of it, which is having fun along the way.
Exactly.
If you're not having fun along the way, I mean, in all honesty, you're just drawing yourself through a gauntlet that, in all honesty, if you're not having fun, the audience knows you're not having fun.
Yeah.
And if you're not having fun, the audience is having fun, then is it really comedy?
And exactly. And I feel like I'm right at that mode right now. Well, I'm learning how to combine comedy and make it my regular life and enjoy it while I'm doing it.
It's a forever balance, dude.
Yeah,
It's a forever balance. Even the pros are still trying to find that, dude.
Yeah, come on, bro. Now, where do you think comedy and the cannabis, the cannabis hit me. Where do you think the comedy and the cannabis intertwine? Like, where do you think that kind of comes together for you? If it does.
No, well, I mean, with me, comedy and cannabis are synonymous, just because I just say it's rooted in the irreverence for authority to some extent. I've always been a punk rocker.
Yeah.
I've always been against the grain.
Yeah.
And
Big Steve said some shit like kind of like.
And strangely, cannabis culture, along with comedy culture, likes pushing back. But in the pushing back, there's a lot of truth.
Yeah.
And in comedy, you're questioning what's being shoved down our throats. In cannabis, you're pushing against stuff like big pharma and what's being shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have people that are willing to push back and actually stand against the grain, we wouldn't have legal cannabis.
Come on now.
And we would still be having happy-go-lucky comedy that doesn't push boundaries.
Bro, I know, like the dee-dee-dee-dee, I gave him an empty cup type fucking, yeah, definitely. So, back on the laughing gas, bro, because I think that is so dope that you, like you said, learned from Joey Diaz, talked to Joey Diaz. How did you feel when you saw that he was coming out with his own strain?
Well, I knew it was in the making. I mean, he had been plugging ABX capsules on his podcast forever, and I knew it was only a matter of time for the right brand.
Yeah.
And when Zeki linked up with him, they're out of NoHo, the ice cream shop. Shout out to them. It's the first time I ever tried their cocoa. I actually drove up when it launched. Definitely found a good cultivation to grow cannabis that's worthy worthy of Joey Diaz's moniker. I mean, that guy, if you guys aren't familiar, he'd always say, yeah, smoke this dog, you'll see the devil. Like, and he was notorious for overdosing comics on edibles at the Comedy Store.
I heard about that.
But like, yeah, I mentioned George Perez's mic that we used to do in Santa Ana, and I remember back in the day, I'd go up there with like my concentrate pen. Do you guys remember G pens, the Granco Science pens?
Bro, yeah. I remember the Snoop Dogg G pen. That was my jam.
They'd always leak on your shirts. Well, anyways, yeah. Like, so back in that day, like, you know, like, he'd always be smoking the fire. Like, I mean, it's Joey Diaz. So
that was like what he was known for. That was like his thing.
when they launched, I was stoked. Of course, I had to try everyone in the line. You know, started with the cocoa, then you got the white truffle, like what was it, like the rainbow runts, the sashimi.
That's crazy because I tried them in reverse because this is the first one I tried. I tried them in reverse.
And then they released the dog face just recently. But out of all the strains, my favorite, hands down, the sashimi. It's just got that nice floral, like citrus, just almost sweet flavor. The carotene isn't too overwhelming, so it's not really that spice. You just get more of that light herbal sweetness to it. It's not really like a debilitating indica, but it's definitely one of those that kind of like, you know, give you that cheeky feeling.
Exactly. Where everything is comfortable around you.
Yeah.
Like exactly. Every chair is comfortable. It don't matter what it is.
The dog sitting there with everything on fire. Yeah, that's sashimi right there.
Tell me a little more about the laughing gas, though. I mean, I know you gave us a couple of the facts earlier. What's some more facts people might not know about? Because you know I'm new in the factual information game. You know, I just know this good weed, this bad weed. I don't, you know.
Well, one thing I noticed with sashimi a lot. The laughing gas from sashimi was a gelato Skittles cross. A lot of the strains were there's a mochi gelato cross, so a lot of gelato crosses. Mostly hybrid indica. As far as the nugs themselves, I mean, here I can open this up here. We'll just
take a look at it. Yeah, no, for real. I can keep this after too.
Well, I don't know. Well,
no, I'm joking. Ooh, that's that thing that killed John Wayne.
But you could take a look at it.
Yeah, we could just say it's oregano. They don't know what it is.
No, but as I mentioned, they have multiple strains, all which are carried at our dispensary, March and Ash. I mean, the sashimi, the cocoa, which was the first strain which was released, and then tremendous. I mentioned the white truffle, the rainbow runts, and they just released the latest strain, Dog Face.
That's the one I got to try. I'm glad you said that because I tried all the other ones. Just as a comedian, I'm like, I need to smoke this because maybe this has got the secret. I was thinking like How High and shit. You remember when they smoked, what's it called? And then they got the answers? I was like, maybe I can get some jokes out this shit, but it don't. Yeah. That shit just made me play 2K for 42 hours. In a row.
But Dog Face I saw is only available at the moment at our new shop over at Sabre Springs.
Oh, for real? Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Sabre Springs. Make sure you go see them on their grand opening. And I think they did that on purpose too, like where they just only put the new strain in the new fucking building. They was like, yeah, we gonna get their ass.
It's a beautiful shop. I've been up there. No, I'm stoked. Sabre Springs, right there at the doorstep. The Suburbia up there. It's definitely great to be in the neighborhood.
Come on now. And shit, it's one of the 8 neighborhoods we in now. Tell me about a little more Kalia, bro, and really just concentrates in general, man. Can you get more in detail with the solvent? What is solvent then? Like, this is solventless. Okay, so what's the solvent? I guess what is that? So
solventless, and the most common solvent in the cannabis industry would be butane. Butane extraction. Most of the carts that people are smoking, along with the different live resin sugars, like the diamonds and sauces, are made using butane. That's where they actually extract the terpenes, the THC, and cannabinoids using butane, and then slow cook the butane out, which leaves your different sugars. And basically the different concentrates.
Is that where they say you don't, if you don't know what's in here, you could be smoking dog water? Is that kind of that?
Well, that's the thing. In this day and age, everything is lab tested.
Of course, but back in the day is what I mean. Like before we had the whole.
If we're talking shatter out of a garage, chances are you were probably smoking on some butane.
It wasn't even out of the garage. Remember, you could get it. I mean, it wasn't legal, but know, before we had March and Ash in the store.
Yeah, garage or enclosed cases that would blow up, and it was like, that was a meth lab. I'm like, no, that was too big of an explosion. Somebody was making shatter.
Yeah, exactly.
But in this day and age, like, I mean, you got like hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in all these labs, all
millions
bomb-proof.
probably. Shit. Now.
I mentioned when I was over in Nevada. I mean, Silver Sage Wellness had one of the best labs where we launched Turpax out of. Back to your question, what is a solvent? Butane gas is used to make most of the butane solvent or extractions.
Extraction for the thing,
and
so
your THC diamonds, the sugars, like the batters. We mentioned shatter. I know
shatter.
Highland Paper Plane still does shatter. That's all butane extraction. So solventless is made with heat and pressure and water. That's it.
So they don't have anything extra. None of the extra shit. I'm getting
gas.
just what I need. Weed or THC, water, and oxygen.
And I'll simplify this as simple as possible.
It sounds like an engine.
If you take the weed and put it into a hydraulic press and crush it, and then just smoke the blood of what comes out of it, that's rosin.
That makes
Obviously, it's a little bit more technical, and there are plenty of blogs on marchandash.com that I wrote if you want to find out a little bit more information.
/blog. I'm on there. Blog it up, baby. Blog it up.
I might be under the influence of POG. I don't have my words working.
Don't even work.
But yeah.
It's doing its job, Dan. It's doing its job.
But I did bring in the POG juice, which is passion orange guava. Honestly, one of the fruitiest flavors that Mark Hammond up at Collier has come up with. So, definitely had to bring it in. Definitely had to bring a shout out. Also, I had to bring in Collier because he's a big comedy fan as well. He's always going up to Cobb's Comedy Club. And last time he was down for the March and Nash employee party, we were sitting there just deep diving comedy. But,
I need you to introduce me to him next time.
Collier. Oh, yeah.
I need you to introduce me to him next time. I ain't no fan of comedy.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shout out Mark. Shout out Mark. Man, you done gave us so much info. I'm going to tell you, bro, you just gave me like a crash course on solvent, on all that, because I didn't know the difference between hot dog water and solventless or nothing like that. So, I appreciate that. Oh, man. We are running low on time, but one more time, everybody. This has been Randy Villarba. And when I tell you, bro, you gave me some of you informed the shit out of me.
No, my pleasure. Sorry, I was just losing myself smelling this bag of sashimi. It's been a pleasure coming on talking some of these products. I mean, I'm fortunate to have one of the coolest jobs in March and Nash. I mean, they pay me to write and talk about this cannabis.
Man.
So I had to bring two of my favorites. I brought, like as I mentioned, the sashimi from Laughing Gas. Anytime you guys see that on the menu, I will race you there to grab it because. Like, dude, high limonene, myrcene, linalool, any flower with those three as the top terps, it's almost a guaranteed good time. It's a guaranteed good time.
Can't lose.
And then, of course, Kalia. If we're dabbing, of course, I also brought my proxy with this, beautiful hand-blown glass art. But yeah, had to bring in the POG juice, one of my favorite flavors from Kalia. Solventless rosin, definitely worth the try for you dabbers out there.
Woo, get on it. One more time, everybody. This is Walter Ford with the Hilariously Blunt Podcast, sponsored by March and Nash. This has been Randy. Randy, give us one more in-depth explanation of Kalia and Laughing Gas for everybody that didn't catch it.
Well, Laughing Gas. For more information on Laughing Gas, you can check out their website, laughinggas.co. As we mentioned earlier, the face of Laughing Gas, if you look at it's basically the same comic behind the man behind the mask is comedian Joey Diaz. He's my comic mentor. I wouldn't be doing comedy if it wasn't for Joey Diaz. Early in, I remember in my first year, I was ready to quit. And then he just told me like flat out, like, you're a comic, but you're a man first. Stand up for yourself. And as I mentioned earlier, the whole marathon thing. Mm-hmm. Comedy is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't get ahead of yourself. Go about it your own pace. So every time I get rattled in comedy, I just remember those words he gave me, and you talk about
keeps
that.
You pushing.
Yeah, it keeps me pushing. And you talk about the where does comedy and cannabis tie together? In my life, it's always been there. Comedy and cannabis, and it all came together when one of my closest friends and mentors has one of the best brands in Cali.
Does it seem like a brand Joey would make? Like, does it like fit his energy? It fits his energy.
Everything about him, honestly, is encompassed by the brand. I mean, the bag is definitely one of the most outrageous bags on the shelf.
Oh, definitely. The picture and everything.
It's him. Everything him. The flower fucking knocks it out of the park. It's fucking him. So I miss him. He's of course out there in Jersey now. Raising his family. But I can't wait till Joey comes out here. We can smoke a number in person.
Come on now. Give us one more in-depth go through with all the information about Kalia and just solventless concentrates in general, but specifically Kalia. What makes them so fire?
So Kalia's ice water extract hash, honestly, the best rosin on the market.
I'm like, it was so good you couldn't even say it.
I can't even put it into words. Just when you open up the jar and take a look at their pressed rosin, it's just clean. The flavors and different farms that Mark actually seeks out. They collab with some of the best legacy independent farms up in the Triangle to bring you some of the tastiest, terpiest solventless rosin.
And what was the terpenes in the Kalia again? I know you told us the ones in the sashimi.
Yeah, here, let me pull that in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to go to the info.
Pull up to the notes. Yeah, and then currently on the Pog Juice, it's high limonene. We're looking at 27 milligrams of limonene, 10 milligrams of carotene, and then 8 milligrams of myrcene as the top three terps. Just saying that makes my mouth water, honestly.
and for somebody that don't know what the hell, you speaking a different language to me.
Couch lock.
That's all I needed to know. Oh man. When do you recommend using laughing gas? Like what environment, what energy, what vibes? What are we doing? What are we doing when we smoking that?
For me, when you're looking for a functional indica, like you're looking for that cannabis to kind of not completely remove you from the situation, but you definitely want that comforting blanket on you.
You can do comedy with it?
I do comedy like on a full spectrum of whatever.
Not really. Yeah, exactly. As long as I got it, I'm doing comedy.
Hey, Randy, do you smoke weed and do things? Yeah, actually, I smoke weed and do things. No.
Except coming to work at March and Ash.
I like it. It keeps me calm, honestly. And that's the one thing about terpenes. There are times when I need something that gives me a little bit more energy. And then in that case, I'd grab something with a little bit more terpenoline or pinene to kind of get those juices going.
Terpenoline don't even sound like a word. I'm going to be honest with you. No, that's hilarious.
Once again, Randy has made weed boring. Terpenoline is by far one of my favorite terpenes. Typically found in Durban Poison, Trainwreck.
I like that.
Even Northern Lights. It's that gassy sour diesel. It's what gives you that extra cup of energy. And I know this is all depending on everybody's body and endocannabinoid system, but terpenoline to me is like espresso, honestly. Whereas like a pinene would be a little bit more like a coffee. It kind of gets it going, but not like terpenoline.
I'm from the hood, bro. That sounds like a girl I used to try to holler at back in middle school. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, hey, is that terpenoline over there? She owe me $20.
Yeah, dude, her brother is like our running back.
I'm weak. Oh man. So I feel like we didn't learn 17 different things about cannabis, about you, Joey Diaz. Before we close out of here, bro, where can everybody find you? What's next for you? What do you got going? What projects do you got where you're working on?
Just recently fresh off my roast battle at the Comedy Store last week, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, where at? In Hollywood?
No, actually Brian Moses.
He bringing it to La Jolla, right?
Yeah,
seen that.
Yeah, he brought it down La Jolla with Pat Barker. We had Bijan Mustafavi and Mike Vinn
and Frankie V, right?
Yep. They were all on the judges panel. Roasted Craig Sutton, got my victory, which was like a nice moment. So I'm officially 2-0-1 in roast battle, but it's my first.
But who was your opponents though? No, I'm talking shit.
Yeah,
I'm 4-2.
Yeah. So Candice Veray was my first win. Tommy Lucero was undecided, and then Craig
Tommy,
Sutton.
shout out to Tommy, man. Shout out to Tommy. Okay, Craig.
But yeah, fresh off the roast battle. As far as shows coming up, I got a couple shows at the Lamplighter and the Rabbit Hole here in May. June, I'm stoked. Got a couple shows up in Las Vegas at 702 Karaoke. The Dirty at 12:30 at South Point Casino.
Hey, Dirty at 12:30.
For more information, you can follow me on Instagram at Randy Villarba, on Twitter at Randy Writes, or send me a Facebook request also.
Randy Villarba. Appreciate that, Randy. I feel like, bro, this has been one of the most informational episodes I've ever had. I wanted to thank you for coming out, bro. Like you really didn't put my whole mind. Like, again, we want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. One more shout out to Kalia. One more shout out to Laughing Gas and Joey Diaz. My name is Walter Ford. You can find me at Real Walter Ford, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Black Planet, Farmers Only, whatever you got. You can listen to the Hilariously Blunt podcast, sponsored by March and Ash, on all streaming services. Make sure you get all your products at marchandash.com. This has been Walter Ford, and make sure y'all have a hilariously blunt rest of y'all day.
This episode was produced by OLAS Media Podcast Network in San Diego, California, with Elia Ramos as creative director, Jessica Garcia as project manager, JC Polk as executive producer, Lina Alvarez as associate producer, and Chad Pease as president and co-founder.
Thank you for listening to Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford, presented by March and Ash. For more, visit us online at olasmedia.com, and don't forget to subscribe where you download your favorite podcasts. In case you suffer from short-term memory loss, let me repeat that for you. Visit Hilariously Blunt with Walter Ford online at olasmedia.com, and after you subscribe, puff, puff, pass it along to a friend. Okay, I'll stop. OLAS Media.
Hi there, I'm Skylar from March and Dash. I'm excited to introduce one of our cultivators, CAM, California Artisanal Medicine. It's a woman-owned cannabis business based in Sacramento, and they're strong believers in the healing power of cannabis. Their Formula 41 strain is one of my personal favorites. With their dominant terpenes being limonene, pinene, and caryophyllene, users have reported experiencing a nice balance between euphoric, uplifting, and relaxing effects. Ask your March and Dash concierge or go to marchanddash.com to learn more about CAM.